Good evening, Nepal. Good evening, India. Everybody watching us live from South Asian part of the world. And yes, we have started today our live info session, virtual session for U.S. universities as well as Canadian universities and colleges. As you can see on my screen today, I have got very special friends from the Enrollment Advisory Group, Mr. Kenneth Desaya, who is the president of Enrollment Advisory Group, which is located in Cranston, Rhode Island, U.S. And I know, many of us, many of you have already seen him in person. If not, I want to introduce my special friend and the president of Enrollment Advisory Group, Mr. Kenneth Desaya. Kenneth, welcome to the live show today.
Thank you, Pawan.
Uh-huh. And similarly, I would like to invite my friend, Mr. Calvin. Calvin heads the University of Nebraska Kearny. By the way, I wanna add more things about Kearny after I would hear from Calvin. Calvin, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Great. It's always a pleasure to talk to you guys. Well, I just wanna give a quick fact about why this university. Okay, because I feel privileged to have you guys and then talk about this university because this gentleman who has actually contributed a lot to our country, Nepal, with his innovation, and he is the Magsaysay Award winner, which is known as Asia's Nobel Prize, Mr. Dr. Mahabir Pun, who is also alumni of University of Nebraska Kearny, and I had a privilege to meet with him personally as well in my last visit. I think 1.5 years ago, when I visited his innovation center in Kathmandu, and now he also started his appearance. His so. Aviskar, that's innovation in a new national TV named Galaxy TV for Nepal. So, without any delay, I like to thank Dr. Pun for everything he is doing for our community. Of course, with his innovation, many remote villages in Nepal, on the Himalayas, they have already achieved a lot. Wireless technology and all, and that they have they have been connected this way thanks to his innovation. And right here, okay, I want to start from Ken. Please tell us something about your group, Enrollment Advisory Group. How are we gonna get the advantage of working with you as an agent, and how are we gonna help to our students directly? Please, Ken.
Thank you so much, Mr. Pawan. It's a pleasure to be with the student and the agencies from Nepal this morning. It's a bright and sunny day here on the East Coast of the United States. And before I jump into our program, I just wish everybody strong health during this pandemic. I know that it has been a challenge for many people individually, but also professionally. A little bit about my background. I have been working for colleges and universities now for almost 35 years, and it's truly been an enjoyable experience. And I would tell you that probably the most important and favorite part of my job is working with students directly. And so when I'm in market, whether it be in a virtual program or whether it be in an in-person program, I love it. I love that opportunity to get a chance to talk with the students and try to find out what goals and objectives they have in their lives. And then I'm hoping that a college partner that I work with will have the opportunity to help serve their educational needs. About 4 years ago, I had the opportunity with some colleagues to start the Enrollment Advisory Group, and it really was to help U.S. colleges build brand in market. Many of them have strong enrollments for students that are coming from the United States, but many of them want to globalize or internationalize their college campus. So they're looking to have some help with some different reach in many of the different markets. I've been very fortunate to have come to visit Nepal. I've probably had 6 trips over the last 4 years to Nepal. Mr. Pawan has been a great host, giving
Thank
me the many great opportunities to meet with the agencies and the students in market. This
you.
morning, we have one of our team members, Calvin, who's going to talk about one of our college clients, University of Nebraska. And before I turn it over to Calvin, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about our colleges that we work with. As part of our partnership with U.S. institutions, we have state universities, private universities. They come in all different price range. So some have higher tuition, some have lower tuition. One of the things that's important to us when we're getting engaged with a college partner is that they offer scholarships to our prospective students. It's very important, not only about the recognition of a student's academic success that they had in high school or in college, but it also helps defray some of the many costs that are associated with higher education. They're in different geographic locations. We have schools in the Northeast, the Southeast, Midwest, Mid-Atlantic states. And again, we have been very, very fortunate with the significant interest in our college partners. And in fact, I was just telling a former colleague of mine, I said, in fact, we have right now record growth of our applications for admissions with many of our college partners. And even though the pandemic has become a challenge with creating that face-to-face visibility, we have done more virtual programming that has given us exposure to students from many different markets around the globe. In fact, we had a little over 900 programs that we have been doing outreach. So our students, whether they're coming from India, Nepal, Azerbaijan, all through the Caribbean and Latin America, very, very excited about the prospect of having them on U.S. colleges and universities. You know, much of our outlook over the spring is working with our students that are preparing them to go through the visa process. I said, right now, I think many of you are aware, the United States elected a new president in November, and we have a new administration that is now just rolling out and getting themselves organized in our Department of State. It's a little bit of a rocky start. Choosing new ambassadors, choosing new staff members at the different embassies. But we're so pleased, to see the progress that is already being made with students receiving their visas to study here in the United States. In fact, as part of our group, we had almost 65 students this winter term meaning January 2021, that actually arrived and are starting their new college experience. We're hoping to have hundreds of students in fall 2021, and we believe with the Biden administration, they are going to be much more user-friendly with the international student population, and that is our hope, because we know that the U.S. has a great education system, and we want to show that to the many students that are out there. Right now, again, as we're going through our spring recruiting seasons, we're still having our visibility out there in the market, but we're also helping students with their visa preparation. And also starting our yield-based events. And the yield-based events mean that we're inviting parents onto our online programming so that we can answer any questions that they may have. A lot of students, this will be their first time of traveling abroad, and we want to make sure that it is a smooth transition. Again, for the students that have come from Nepal, we're excited to have more. I know, Pawan, I think you just mentioned that we also have a little bit of exposure for India. I was excited. I was going to give a little shout out to my students from India. We had 19 students from India that came for the winter term to the University of Bridgeport. So we're looking for some great success Our team members here at EAG are here to help the students through that process, and we do recognize that the agencies are are an important part of that process, where their staff members are walking the students through that process. We've spent a lot of our time this spring reaching out, doing retraining with the agencies, and we're here to support them throughout that process. But Mr. Pawan, enough about us and what we're doing here at EAG. What I'd like to do is to have my colleague, Mr. Calvin, talk about one of our college clients this morning, the University of Nebraska at Kearny. Yay!
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, before having Kelvin talk about that, I just wonder how about your universities, partner universities, from the U.S. offering this scholarship because our market Nepal, India, like all the South Asian countries, they are price sensitive. They would like to see some scholarship amount on the I-20, so they feel like okay, they are honored because they got very strong background and. Second thing would be helps their parents' pocket, and other stuff would be they would feel more confident about convincing their visa officer about studying in the U.S. So, what would you have for scholarship for them?
Well, you know what, Ms. Pawan, I would tell you they vary from school to school. But, we have, and I'll give an example of Manhattan College in New York. They probably offer the highest of many of our scholarships, even though their tuition is very significantly higher for their undergrad program. We have some of our students that have annual scholarships of almost $30,000, leaving students maybe with a balance of about $12,000 for their education. We also have, again, and I don't want to take too much away from Calvin at the University of Nebraska. They have right now their tuition is at $14,000. They offer maybe $4,000 scholarships, leaving balances at $10,000. All of our schools offer these scholarship opportunities, recognizing, again, I'll go back to twofold. One, we want to make sure that we're recognizing our students for their academic achievements, but many of our families, they need the help from a financial aid perspective, and these merit-based scholarship programs are there to help. And so we have some of our clients, our college partners, that have a little bit higher priced, but we try to make sure that their scholarships are higher to close that gap for our students. And then again, I'll say it one more time, Mr. Pawan, is the visa process over there. We are starting to have some good success. In particular, depending upon the area of the country, in particular, I'll use the example of India. Some of them are more ramped up their visa process, and some of them are still, starting that transition with the new administration. I believe that over in Nepal, and I can see it coming right across the ticker this morning, it says they're now open for F1 student visa interviews.
Right.
We actually had one of our first Nepal students that had their visa approved for the
University of Nebraska.
University of Advancing Technology out in Arizona. So it's even though it might be frustrating for the students to try to schedule that appointment, we tell them to have that tenacity to continue on to get that appointment. And we're very hopeful that the embassy approves their visa request.
Absolutely, Crane, and glad that you mentioned all this. So, our market, of course, agent driven, whatever universities that you got in the market, agents easily can, offer to the students, given their academic and all the financial background, plus their program list. So, to the agents who might be, watching us now, or could be in the recorded version. So, what is your message to your approved agents in Nepal?
I'm sorry, Pawan, I just missed that last.
What is your message to your approved agents? I know Bradford is not only agent for you for EAZ. I know there are many in Nepal. So what is your message about helping the students and recruiting them to the EAZ partner schools? And
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And because I know, like, all the certain client universities that you have got under EAZ, they all are exclusive, meaning that, like, only the agents are able to recruit it through your network. So what is your message about helping the students from Nepal or India or South Asia who could be watching this show with us now?
Yeah, well, I would once again, Pawan, say I appreciate the active support that we've had from the agencies, in particular out of Nepal. When we opened our business, Nepal was one of our first stops, and we had great exposure to some wonderful agencies that I believe their number one priority is to make sure that they're trying to help the student find their best fit with a university here in the United States. I know that many of them were challenged over this past year with keeping their businesses afloat, especially during the lockdown that we've had over in Nepal. But we tried to use that time to make sure that all of our agencies were well educated on our college partners. We see the dynamics that they are very excited to be being reactivated with their prospective students. I say to each of them, we couldn't do our job for our college partners without the support that we have of the agencies in Nepal and India. And we're looking for great success for the fall 2021 term. We're here to support you through education, support you through participation in your virtual fair programs. We actually have two team members that are based in Kathmandu that will be actually going out there and visiting many of your agencies. Both of them been out there in the road just as your doors are starting to open, just so that we can add value and benefit in conversations with your prospective students. So, I ask you, when you hear from Asmita and Jackson, who are members of our team based in Nepal, please feel free to reach out to help your prospective students through the admissions process. And even though my good friend Mr. Pawan is right now temporarily over in California, I ask that you reach out to him as well. He has been a great supporter of the work that we've been doing here at the Enrollment Advisory Group, and we look forward to having that celebration and seeing you face to face in the very near future. Thank you, Pawan.
Absolutely. I believe this is the same message to our future students to apply into any universities that we got under EAZ.
That is correct.
All right. Thank you, Ken, for your wonderful introduction about the company, about yourself, and we can't thank you enough, for your contribution to this education sector. And we are proud that you already got like 30 plus years at some other universities, and helping all the U.S. Universities recruitment, and now all these great partner schools from the U.S. partner colleges. So it was great to have you, and talk to you soon. Bye.
Sounds good. Thank you. Good luck. Good luck, Calvin.
All right. Good to see you, Ken.
Here we go with our special guest for the show today, actually, like Mr. Calvin from University of Nebraska Kearny. And dear viewers, like I said earlier in the beginning of the show, that this is the university where our scientist Mahabir Pun also graduated from. And it's been a very wonderful journey when I got to hear from him about his journey at the University of Nebraska, his experience being in the United States as an international student, and the way how he saw through his eyes the better part of the world, representing the communities where actually there were help needed, and he could do it. Calvin, welcome back.
Sure.
And
Thanks for
thank you for
having
your
me. I want
presence.
to say, yes, I
Mhm.
want to say once again, good evening. I
Mhm.
want to go ahead and try and share my screen. Let me know if you can see anything. Once I've
Absolutely.
done that,
Yep.
share my screen. There we go. Okay.
hmm Dear viewers, in the meantime, please feel free to drop any questions here, and Mr. Kelvin and I will be happy to answer any of those questions. So it will be helpful for you. All right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Share screen. Let's see what's up. Okay, I'm seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go here.
All
Are you
right.
seeing it now? Are you seeing
Yep.
the UNK screen?
I'm authorizing you for that slide, and it's up there. Dear
Okay,
viewers,
wonderful.
Calvin, our special guest from the University of Nebraska, and he represents the university, very decent university, public university, which is quite affordable and has got a lot of programs. Please watch this carefully, and this could be a good university for you to choose from. All right? Okay.
Alrighty.
Kevin, let's
Once
go.
Okay, once again, good evening. My name is Calvin Mordenborough. I'll tell you a bit about myself. I've worked for the government of St. Martin for over 41 years, recently retired, and have been very close friends with some of the members, the team members of Enrollment Advisory Group. I've been an advisor to government. I've been advisor to students and their parents. I've accompanied many students to universities throughout the world, Europe, and the United States. And I can tell you one thing, what I usually would talk about when I'm doing these type of presentations to students and parents, I tell you there are three things that you should be looking at. You should be looking at the C, the L, and the M. The C is for cost, the L is for location, and the M is for the majors. Now,
Absolutely.
exactly. Now, I'm talking about University of Nebraska at Kearny. Now, for those of you who don't know, Kearny is the fifth largest city of Nebraska, and Nebraska is located right in the center of the United States. Now, uh, Nebraska is a friendly, Kearny, Nebraska is a friendly, bustling town with a vibrant spirit. You have many things to enjoy, such as trendy coffee shops, restaurants, food trucks. Uh, there are concerts, there are entertainment events and live music. There's a hike and a bike trail, park, and there's fishing and kayaking and much more for you to enjoy during your course of studies. Because it's not only about the classroom, but your environment must also be something nice for you to enjoy. That is about location. When you're talking about location, you're making your choice. Do you want to go to another? You want to go to all sunny, or you want to go half winter, half sunny? And you also need to look at your environment and how the people are going to accept you in their community. And where that's concerned, Kearney is very nice.
Hmm.
It's a
Yeah.
515-acre campus with a vast array of facilities, labs including a planetarium, an art museum, an art gallery, a glass blowing studio, a fabrication lab. There's TV and broadcasting radio facilities, and also multiple athletic facilities for you to enjoy. It's We have about 6,902 students, of which 5,274 are undergrad students. There are nearly 400 international students hailing from 47 different countries. And there are nearly 200 undergraduate pre-professional programs and graduate programs as well. Now, as far as rankings are concerned, we are ranked number six. We are ranked as the number six public Midwestern university. It's a state school accredited by the Higher Learning Commission. We also have numerous other accreditations and recognitions, such as the Association for Advanced Collegiate Schools of Business. We are recognized by the American Chemical Society, approved list of programs for our chemistry programs. We also recognized by the Association of Technology, Management, and Applied Engineering. Also, the Commission on Accreditation of Athletic Training. We're very good at our athletic programs. And also the National Association of Schools of Music. Now, we have over 100 majors for you to choose from. So whatever you want to study, I truly believe you can find it at the University of Nebraska at Kearny. So we have our advertising, we have our business, we have our allied health sciences, we have our art, we have accounting, chemistry, computer science. One of the big majors right now is the cybersecurity, which like I'm saying, a lot of companies are looking for people to protect them, because right now with the pandemic, one of the most important things, you got to have good computer and you got to have good safety as well. We're also good in our music, our nursing. We have our pre-health programs such as medical laboratory nursing and stuff like that. So we have a whole array of things for you to choose from. And as far as student to faculty ratio, we're 19 to 1. So that's pretty small. So you're going to get the attention that you need. We also have an English Language Institute, and it's offered 5 course levels, which are in conversation. We offer listening and speaking, grammar, English and writing, vocabulary. And these courses are given in the fall, spring, and in the summer. And we offer 18 hours per week. The tuition for that is 4,192 US dollars per semester, and it includes all of your fees. And your room and board will bring you at approximately $5,169. So all in all, it would say it would cost you about $10,000 if you want to brush up on your English before going directly into your program, or if you want to specialize in something. But we also offer opportunities outside of the classroom. We have the conversation partners, we have the English conversation table, and we also have the international friendship program. Now, that is one that I find very interesting, especially for international students, because Kearny families are interested in meeting international students. So our host families program permits students like yourself to become friends with an American family and learn firsthand about the American culture. We also have on-campus living. Now, as a parent also, I usually advise students to live on campus because of the safety aspect, but it also allows you the opportunity to meet other students from all over the world and become friends, get new friends for the rest of your life. So, and to interact with those type of students. So we have 7 traditional style resident halls. We have multiple dining facilities. We have over 150 student clubs and organizations for you to join, should you wish to be part of those organizations. We host over 800 campus events throughout the year, and there's an active Greek life community. For those of you who are interested in playing a sport, we do offer athletics. So for female, we have basketball, we have cross country, we have golf, soccer, softball, swimming, tennis, track and field, volleyball. And for the men, we offer basketball, cross country, football, track and field, and wrestling. And these sports are all being offered in the NCAA Division II. Now, as far as costs are concerned, that's very important. I don't think you
Mhm.
will come across another school that is cheaper than the University of Nebraska at Kearny. First of all, the tuition is 13,650 US dollars. However, all students will receive the International Loper Scholarship of $4,245. So this would bring your tuition to under $10,000, which brings it down to 9,405 US dollars. Your fees are approximately $1,720, and your room and board is going to be $10,322. So all in all, your total cost would be 21,447 US dollars. Naturally, you're going to have to add an additional $3,000 for your annual insurance cost, health insurance, which is very important. So as you can see, it's a very affordable university. Now, for those students who are not proficient in English, well, they would have to show English proficiency. But how to apply? You apply online. The most important thing I would advise you to do if you're interested, go online, submit your application. Once you have submitted your application, you can submit directly your a copy of the biographical page of your passport, uh, your transcripts, of course. So those are the 2 most important things that you must submit right away. So your passport and your transcripts. I can guarantee you, I've seen within a week, once you have submitted those 2 important documents, the admissions office will look at your application and send you an answer right away. Uh, so if you are not proficient in English, you show your English proficiency by one of the well-known things, such as the TOEFL, the IELTS, the Duolingo is widely accepted right now. You must show a Duolingo score, a minimum score of 100, and we have an application fee of 45 US dollars. However, through through our group enrollment advisory group, we're offering all students that apply to us directly or through one of our agents that we will waive the application fee up until May. So I would advise you to go ahead and do that as soon as possible. We also have an international office. We have an international office that assists students with the application process. So there's a dedicated staff that would ensure, all students meet their educational goals by helping students transition into the United States. So we help you with orientation activities. We help you with assisting with your interpreting and advising on immigration regulations. We assist with issuing your official documents and letters. We maintain your student records, and we advise on life and customs of the United States. But we also have something very that I find very interesting is the Global Loper program. The Global Loper program is like a buddy program whereby you will have a mentor that will take you under their wing during your first year student, you're a first year student. They will take you under their wing. They will take you to theaters. They will take you to the mall. They will take you to ball games. All of this type of stuff they will do with you to make you feel at home and get accustomed to your new living environment. So that is something very nice that we offer through our Global Local program here at UNK.
I love Kearney so much. It's one of the best places to attend college.
Small town values in a bigger town.
It's not so big that you feel overwhelmed, but it's big enough to where you still have options.
Everybody's just so nice and so welcoming, which made me feel like, oh, this is gonna be my home, and that's why I decided to come to UNK.
I was so surprised by Kearney. I didn't realize how much it actually had to offer.
We have some of those chain restaurants that you can find in Lincoln and Omaha. Then on the flip side, we have smaller boutiques that give Kearney some character, charm, gives Kearney style that you can't find anywhere else.
They have an amazing variety of parks.
Cotton Mill is my favorite place on this entire planet.
Harmon Park is also really close to UNK, so I hang out with my friends there.
One thing that I love about Kearney is the hike and bike trail, and it's just a block off campus, so it's really easy to hop on there, well lit. I feel safe, goes past Cotton Mill, goes to Yanny Park.
We usually go and hang out with friends, and we go ice skating, or we go watch a movie.
The Big Apple Fun Center is really great because they have laser tag and they have bowling.
I think what surprised me most about Kearney is how involved the Kearney community is with UNK.
Your student ID will get you a long way, or if you're wearing like floper gear, they know you're a student.
They're really genuine here. Just down to earth, Nebraska nice, as they say.
But to me, it feels home now. I think once you get on campus and get kind of more involved, it really does seem like a really small community.
The people I've met freshman year are still in my life, my 5th year of college. That's not only with, people I've met in college, but people in the community as well.
Each year I see more diversity, which I really love because it just makes me feel like I picked the right college.
I had someone on tour say that we had like really green grass, and like the grass is literally greener over here. Now that I've been here already, I know full-heartedly that Kearney is where I'm supposed to be.
So
That was
that pretty
awesome.
much, yes,
Mhm.
that pretty much brought me to the end of my regular presentation.
Mhm.
Like I'm saying, I usually like to show that video because it's good for a student to see the atmosphere where they're going to be living, the type of things that they're going to be doing outside of the classroom. And that's
Mhm.
very important. So I hope they enjoy that video very much. On the
Yep, me
screen,
too.
you'll see my mug and my information. Uh,
Mhm. Yeah,
so
thanks. Yeah, go ahead, please, Kevin. Sorry,
I,
Calvin.
yes. I also wanted to mention that every Thursday around this time that we'll be having something that is called, I'm starting next week, Thursday, that is
Mhm.
called UNK Office Hours. So your
Wow.
students will have the opportunity to log in,
Mhm.
we'll have a Zoom link that will be available, and they could log in, every Thursday with additional
Okay.
questions and, type of stuff like that. Also, at the end
Mhm.
of this month, we're going to have someone from UNK talking about it's specifically for our agents to give additional information about UNK. And it's going
Mhm.
to be taped as well so that we could share it with agents so they could always have it for future reference as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was a wonderful presentation, and I personally enjoyed the video. And of course, it was the presentation very short and sweet and right to the point. Of course, like you mentioned, it's a great university, a public university, University of Nebraska system. And the good news is, Nepal scientist Dr. Mahabir Pun also graduated from this great university in Nebraska. And I also had a chance to talk to him, meet with him, and then know about his experience being an international student out there. He was telling me it was his second village, second town. So
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then it was actually like so touchy because someone from our country, Nepal, like coming all the way to the U.S. and living in Nebraska, like for how many, like he said, like I think 5 or 7 years during his
Oh,
bachelor
yes.
studies. And then
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
again went back to Nepal, like tried his some innovation in remote villages in the Himalayas, like connecting the villages, because as you know, like mountains have often problems, like connecting through the like the towns or the villages, and then the
Yeah.
network issues back then, like when you talk about like just starting the millennium. So like people are still like not like having this internet things everywhere,
Uh-huh.
but like things were moving forward. And to that pace, Dr. Pun like contributed a lot to those Himalayan regions, while like our cities only were enjoying the Wi-Fi and internet things. But like the villages were still lacking this opportunity. So I salute to this gentleman. I
Well,
don't know, like so here's picture once again, so it reminds everybody. And I know, like it's not a new name for any of us in Nepal, or most part in Asia. um, Thanks for that. And with that,
but also, Pawan, if I may
please,
mention, I
yeah,
think I
please
think
go ahead.
all of us in the world have noticed due to this
Hmm.
pandemic how important having
Hmm.
proper internet is right now.
Absolutely.
I mean, to
Yeah.
work from home, also for education purposes. I mean, a lot of the schools have to go online, you
Hmm.
know, and especially as Ken mentioned, normally a recruiter will travel all around the world and pick up 100 or 200, names of students. However, in the
Hmm.
last in the last 8 to 9 months, we have been consistently giving these presentations virtually online, and
Yep.
we have connected with people in places where we have never thought of going.
Oh
So
yeah.
the internet is very important, very
It's quite
important.
important. And like you and I, like are virtually meeting, right, because
Yes,
of this internet things.
yes,
Thanks to
yes,
this innovation anyway. Absolutely, like we have lots to achieve through these
yes,
sources, and then make things work better for us. Like even during the pandemic, the difficult time of the era, like the internet was the best way to get connected, while
yes,
like we are all staying home, like quarantining ourselves, and still like doing the work. So how nice, like students getting the, I mean, doing the classes, other business people, so doing their businesses, and all the people, like were enjoying, like could be social media, or so other stuff, like at least like to kill the hard times. And
yes,
it was all internet. So
yes, yes.
you're right, Calvin. It was a great, I would say, a boon for the human mankind. And it's a like it's rightly used.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Thanks, Calvin. I
Sure.
just want to like pop up some of the comments here. I would
Huh?
see, yeah, like Mr. Biswa Nepal. Thanks for your comment here, and he is recommending the viewers about watching this live. Absolutely, it is with the purpose of helping the potential students or their families to learn about the university firsthand. Like we have Kelvin today joining us, and then he is sharing the information about joining the University of Nebraska in Kearney, and the admission process and all.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for sharing this.
And then one of
And
one of the things, like I said,
please.
the affordability is very important, especially in times like these.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want the parent to dig too deep in the pocket at the
Hmm.
bachelor's level, at the
Yeah.
undergraduate level. You want to save some money to go on
Hmm.
for the master's. So I
Okay.
usually, as a parent, I usually say, look at the cost of your bachelor's level so that you
Mhm.
can have sufficient money in the pocket to go on for the master's level.
Absolutely. Yeah, like I was touching that point again. Like the tuition structure, like you were mentioning on your slide, that it is around 14,000, but again with the scholarship of like 4,200, that amount like reduces the total tuition for the year. So what's the criteria, like is it for every single student who applies and is approved with the admission
Yes,
later, it's
yes.
automatically granted, or do you have to go with any other application and all?
No, no. Every
Okay.
student that applies
Hmm.
and submits right away their transcripts
Hmm.
and a copy of the biographical page of their passport, they will
Hmm.
receive an admissions letter. Once they
Hmm.
are admitted, every student will receive the Global Loper Scholarship of
Hmm.
$4,200. So that would bring them down to $900 for tuition. So that is a given. That is a given.
9,000.
Tuition is under $10,000. There's no additional application for that scholarship. We're going to give it
Absolutely.
to everyone. Yes.
Great. Like you said before, the pandemic has hit us hard, every single corner of the world,
Yeah.
and financially, not just with our plans as well. So that means, with this amount of scholarship, about like $4,300, it definitely going to help our kids, help our students, their parents, then because they have so many bills to consider. So for that reason, I think I found it very affordable one, Calvin.
Tell me something more about your students, the affordability. Does your government offer study financing to your students? How do
Mhm.
students afford to pay that amount of money in the United
Well,
States?
there is a rare case scenario
Uh-huh.
for our government to sponsor to the students. Rather,
Uh-huh.
we have the students who are self-sponsored, like self-financed, like
Okay.
the parents especially. Like when I have kids, I need to check my savings and make plans from years.
Okay.
So once they are ready, and then I should be able to pour their studies abroad if they are going abroad, or studying in the country.
Okay.
So there is a rare chance, I would not say like there is not, but
Uh-huh.
I would say I barely see that happening.
No,
That,
because I
that's
ask
different.
this because I come out of an environment whereby
Yeah.
government finances the students. So that is
Hmm.
where I met Jeff Greenip, of course, when they were working back in the day with Johnson and Wales.
Right.
I
Uh-huh.
go a long way back with these guys. So I know from a government environment because I'm in
Hmm.
the Dutch territories. And you know Holland is very supportive of education. So Holland pays
Uh-huh.
for the education of the kids. So
Hmm.
basically each study financing recipient from the Dutch government, they would receive 15,000 US dollars to help with their education. So that
Hmm.
is why UNK is really so cheap for people in the Dutch Caribbean and stuff like that, because the parents will have to come out of pocket with probably $6,000 or $7,000 annually, which is not bad at all.
Yeah, not bad at all. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because on an average, you will find in U.S. universities, 15,000 or higher, but with this scholarship, it could be coming down less than 10,000 or even 5,000 if you are a very good student with all the strong academic and the test score.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
you're right, because I know you come from the government background and you have helped a lot to your citizens through your
Exactly.
position at the government levels. Yeah, our government is also our government has that quota as well, but
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure it covers majority of the students
Yeah.
who are seeking to go abroad. All right,
But what your
so.
students could also do once they get
Mhm,
on campus, they could
mhm.
also get some part-time employment on campus to
Oh
assist
yes,
them to cut back on some of the costs as well. You know,
absolutely,
I also give presentations on how to cut back on the costs. You know, that's
absolutely.
very important. Yeah,
So.
the hardest part is getting there, like Ken
Mhm,
said. The hardest part is actually getting that student visa. I
mhm,
believe with the new administration, they
mhm,
might be a bit more lenient towards education, seeing that
mhm,
the new president's wife is also an educator. You know,
mhm,
I've gone through this exercise before with many presidents of the United States. God,
mhm,
like I've said, 41 years in government, and of which 35, approximately 35, in education and
mhm,
advising government on education. So I've seen many U.S. Consul Generals change. You know,
mhm,
I've seen many of them change, had different mentalities. We are
mhm.
very hopeful that it will be easier for your students to get their visas now because education is very
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. I completely agree with you. And because, it's more about the government policies towards
Yes,
international students' visas.
yes,
And we have a new president, Mr. Joe Biden.
yes,
President, I would not say like Mr., but he is the President Joe Biden
yes, yes,
of the United States. And he is coming up with so many immigration, reforms and flexibility, and that means this gonna help the international students come and study here and even find jobs after their graduation. So this is the thing happening, which was happening in the past as well.
yep,
So
yep,
yeah, let's hope, fingers crossed. Of course, we are very excited,
yep.
Kevin, about the living standard. So how affordable, how expensive or less expensive is it living off campus if you're allowed to stay off campus?
Sure. Well, naturally, living off campus will
Hmm.
always be a bit cheaper because then you determine, how much you want to spend and what you're going to do.
Hmm.
However, as a parent and the safety aspect of it, I usually advise students to spend at least their first 2 years on campus because I've seen the safety aspect that is put in place for international students. And what's very important, when you're on campus, you can be sure of having a meal during the day because you must eat to be able to study properly. And if you're living on campus, you tend to not eat on time. You tend to eat potato chips and stuff like that because you're more focused on your studying. So
Hmm.
I usually advise, do the campus for the first 2 years, and then you can venture off campus once you know your community, you have established, your safety around, because you never know what happens, for international students. But it's the living expenses in Kearny is rather cheap as compared to New York or California where you are. So it's very affordable.
Absolutely. Yeah. I would like to, I popped up all the, viewers today who have, write something or, referred their friends. And I want to thank you all. Please let us know if you got any questions here. Calvin, our special guest today, is with me today, and he would be happy to talk about any of the topics you want to talk about. And I believe, University of Nebraska is pretty straight to understand, and then you are good to apply. And if you are ready, like we at Bradford would be happy to take your application and start the application process. Okay, and we actually are receiving the I-20s, the admission letters from the university, very quick.
Yeah,
In just about 2 weeks time, you get your decision, and then even your I-20s can be couriered to you as well. So we'll make sure of that before you apply. We'll make sure of what documents, what required documents have you got on hand, and what are missing. Even if you are missing some application, you can still start your application with us. Okay,
yep,
and yeah, those are the documents. Like I'm showing the ticker, all academic transcripts, English proficiency. If you are still waiting for that, you can submit later on. Recommendation letters, or if any work experience, or SOP or CB will guide you through. All right.
yeah.
So
But the
Calvin,
most
anything?
the most important thing, like I mentioned, is the copy of the passport, the transcript in English,
Yep.
of course, and proof of English proficiency.
Hmm.
Once you submit those right away with your application, and you can submit them through your company, of course, and I will
Hmm.
pass them on. If they come to me as well, I'll pass them on to our Francella over at admissions office. Within a few days, we get an answer. If she's satisfied with what was submitted, she would let us know. If she needs something else, she would reach out to you directly and get it, and boop, you have
Yep.
your letter. Now I think we're going into April soon, so we're gonna have to start to step up on getting the I-20s.
Yep. So, as we are wrapping up, Calvin, what is your suggestion, to the international students, especially from our part of the world, Nepalese students? How do they choose the program? How do they apply? And what are the tips for the interviews? If you can, finish in 1 or 2 minutes, that would
Yeah,
be
yeah.
great.
Okay, like I previously mentioned, the major is something very important. Of course, you have discussed with your parents, what you want to study, what your career is going to be. I mentioned that UNK we have over 100 majors for you to choose from, so it's there. Whatever you want to study, it must be there. I'm saying go through the list. You have any questions? Send me an email. I will guide you through. I will point you in the right direction. For those of you who are interested in sports, I will connect you with the coach in that sense. And yeah, I would say go ahead and apply, and we would work with you from today until the day that you step foot on campus. That is the way I work. No question is too difficult, or that everything is important, and especially
Absolutely.
important for you and your parent to know because you have to prepare mentally and financially for this great step that you're going to take. But I can tell you that going to UNK in the center of the United States it's going to be a great experience for you. You're going to have very little distractions,
Hmm.
and within 4 years, if you do 1 or 2 summer schools, you would have your degree in your pocket, and you could choose to go anywhere after that for your masters.
Absolutely. Thank you, Calvin, for your time today and for your wonderful presentation and all this information regarding University of Nebraska at Kearney. And I would like to see you again sometime
Sure,
in the future.
sure. Anytime. Thank you for having me, Mr. Pawan. I look forward to
Thank you.
also traveling to Nepal when all of
Yeah, please.
when the dust blows over,
Yeah,
I'll travel
yeah.
over there.
We definitely need that, happening. So probably like, in the fall or after this fall, we're gonna have like, a better picture of the world,
Yes, yes.
clearing this dust off,
Uh-huh.
like you said. Of course, that's our hope as well. And in the United States, by the way, like, the president also planned to have like most of the population vaccinated by the end of May, or let's say by
By
the
the
end of
1st of May.
June.
Yeah, by
Yeah,
the
yeah,
1st of May.
yeah. So that
Perfect.
means by the 1st of May, and then the second dose, by like another 3 4 weeks time. So I would
Yes.
say like, by June, everything would be looking a lot better.
And how about you? Have you already gotten your first, the
Yeah,
first?
like I got my first jab like the other day, this Saturday.
Okay. Oh, this Saturday. Oh, you just got it. I'm
Yeah, I
about
just
to
got.
get, I'm about to get my second on the 25th.
Oh wow, okay, we almost on the same page.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, yes. We got
all right.
Pfizer. We got Pfizer.
Yeah, I got Pfizer too, and yeah,
Wonderful.
yeah. But you
Wonderful.
can't make any choice anyway, because you have to like schedule online, and then you get your appointment. So Pfizer is great, Moderna is great, Johnson is great. So as long as they say it's good, like we gotta have our sort on down.
Yep, yep, yep. We got to get it done. I mean, that's our job. We got to get it on the road. So
Yep.
thanks for having me again. Good luck with all that you're doing. And
Thank
we're
you.
going to have a few of my other colleagues coming in, as you're ready. Okay?
Sure. Thank you, Calvin, for your time, and have a wonderful time. Stay safe. Okay. Bye bye.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.
All right. Guys, hope you enjoyed the live session today. And it was Mr. Kenneth Desire from Enrollment Advisory Group, USA, under WEES. They got 7 great US universities, including the one that we had today, University of Nebraska at Kearny. And we had Calvin, Mr. Calvin, the international recruiter from the university itself. And then it was a great information through his side. I personally enjoyed the video and a lot more information about the campus. And on top of that, of course, the fee structure. If you look at the fee structure, they don't have expensive fee structure, like under 15,000 without any scholarship, but with the scholarship, let's say 4,295. That is the amount that reduces the tuition to somewhat close to $10,000, like Kevin mentioned to you. So if you think this is the right university to apply for, please feel free to visit us at our office in Omkar Building, Level 7, New Banesar Chowk, Kathmandu, on these numbers, or visit directly by contacting these numbers, or visit directly, or any information you want to know before you come down, email us. And of course, we have study center in actually, we are in Pudal Sadak with the study center. Mr. Biso Nepal is happy to receive you, or you just drop any questions there. So wherever you go, make sure that you get the right information, and we are there for you. By the way, Bradford is a brand name for the US education, Canada, the UK, Australia, and New Zealand. Okay, so I'm showing you the information about tomorrow's session. That's tomorrow 10 a.m. Make sure that you sleep enough, and get ready for the next live session, because we are now on study in the US and Canada info session for the next month. And during this month, you get to see a lot of information about study in different colleges and universities in the US and Canada. So it's a part of this event, and we'll have a great show tomorrow at 10 a.m. Nepal time by the University Canada West in Vancouver and Niagara College. That's in Toronto, in Canada. All right. Let us know, and of course, I love to hear from you. Drop any questions, and then or about regarding your application process and all this. So we'd be happy to help you going further. All right. Yes, Bradford is celebrating its 15th birthday, I would say anniversary, on the 19th of March, and that is this Friday. Please make sure that you grab some opportunities, to get some no application fee kind of schemes for you to start processing to US. And also, most universities or colleges in Canada doesn't charge you that much, but we could be able to giving you some waivers, like no application fee. All right. All right. Till then, stay safe and thank you, everyone. Join me tomorrow. Bye.